Welcome to Knit in the Zone. I'm Jen, and this is a vlog about all things yarn, knitting, sometimes crochet, and sometimes some other random fun things too. This is episode 45, and I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who is joining me today. Welcome to new viewers, and welcome back to returning viewers. I also want to let you know where you can find me across all of the social media things. I am Nitty Gritty Vegan on Ravelry. You can go to my hand-dyed yarn shop at traintrackfiberdesigns.com. You can get all of the clickable links for everything that I mention here at knitinthezone.com. And you can follow me on Instagram. I have two accounts. I have one for Train Track Fiber Designs, and I also have one for Knit in the Zone. And like I said, everything that I mentioned, including the links to those things, is at knitinthezone.com. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because I'm recording this a couple days early this week because we have the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday. So yeah, this is being pre-recorded this week, so you won't see it till Thursday though. So I'm going to jump in and tell you what I'm wearing. So this is my Ohlala cardigan. The pattern is by Joji Locatelli. The yarn that I used is called the Radness. That's the colorway. And the yarn itself is by Madtosh. It's the Madtosh DK Twist, I think is what it was called. And the pattern, it called for you to stripe. I did not do stripes. I just did, you know, the one color, which is the speckles. I did do a contrasting pocket though, which I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so my inside of my pocket is contrast. That's like the only thing I did with a different color. So I would definitely recommend this pattern if you're a person who hasn't ever knit a cardigan before and you're wanting to maybe try one out. This was super simple. It does have instructions for striping if you wanted to do that, or you could just do solid like I did. But it was really easy. The most complicated thing on it was pockets, and that really wasn't complicated either. So super simple, straightforward, super fun. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. I did not add anything to my queue this week. So I'm not stocking anything. So the reason for that, if you watched last week's episode, I had mentioned that I was inspired by the creator of Sweet Georgia's company, Felicia Lowe. She has a new vlog. It's called Taking Back Friday. And so I watched that. I guess it was her second episode, and she was talking about she deleted her whole entire Ravelry queue. So that really inspired me to go through and clean mine out. Last week, whenever I did my vlog, I had 339 things in my queue. Now I only have 109. So I didn't add anything else. I got rid of some things that I knew I wasn't going to make. That queue had been building since 2008, I guess, whenever Ravelry first became a thing. So I cleared that. I cleared a lot of stuff. Obviously, I kept 109 things. There's some stuff still in there that I know I'm not going to make, but it's just stuff that's cute that, like, I don't know, I might make one day. Like those owls I'd shown a few weeks ago. I also have a little knit Chinese crested dog on there, or crochet or something, I don't know, that I, like, kind of think, oh, well, maybe one day. And, like, those dragon mitts that I showed last week, like, I probably won't make that, but at the same time, that's one of those things that I will not remember to go find that I might want to make. So anyway, I've been being pretty good though. So even though I don't have anything to show you that I'm stocking, I do have a new project. But I'm going to start with what I'm working on, which is living in this. This is my Fringe Supply bag. It's the field bag. Fringe Supply Company field bag. There we go. You'd think I would know how to say that now. I say it every week. Alright, so this is my scrappy sock yarn blanket. And it has grown quite a bit. So last week whenever I showed you guys, I had added these two for, like, width, I guess is what we'll call it. And so I added those two down here last week. So I added an additional 5. So this is what I've added. And this one right here is the TTFD Halloween 2017 colorway. This is just, it was a yellow that I put in my speckle and pop. It's one of the accents. This is just a black that's in my speckle and pop as an accent. this is Lavender Leaves from my yarn shop, Train Track Fiber Designs. And this is the teal that came in the Knit Crate minis for November of 2017. So that's what I've added to the bottom. And then up, if I can figure out which way the top is. Here we go. All right. And so I think I had shown you guys this last week. I think this is where I was. I added this, which is kind of like an olive greenish, brownish kind of color. This was in the Knit Crate minis for October of 2017. This is the same yellow that was from my yarn shop that I added down there. And then this is, what is this one called? Did I call this Hot Strawberries? Wild Strawberries. This is Wild Strawberries from Train Track Fiber Designs. So this is also a pop in my speckle pop. So I've added, what is that, 8? Yeah, so I've added 8 squares to my blanket since I showed you guys last. And I feel like it's getting to be a nice size. I'm really happy that I decided to make it be 12 wide rather than 10 wide. I feel like that's a much more appropriate size. It's still going to only be for me. It's not going to be like a sharing blanket, but probably just for like me and Bella whenever we're like on the porch or whatever. So that's what I have. And then I don't know how tall or how whatever long, I guess, that I want to make it. Whenever I originally put it in my Ravelry queue and I started making it, or not my Ravelry queue, my project, there we go, my project notes. Whenever I started making it, I had said I wanted to make it about 30 tall and 10 wide, but now that I've done 12 wide, I don't know if I'm still going to go 30 tall or what, so I'm just going to kind of play that by ear and see as I go. But I feel like I've made a lot of progress. I mean, I added 8 squares, so that's pretty good. This is also a good travel project. I know a lot of people travel for the holidays coming up, so if you need something to knit while you know, ride in the car or whatever, socialize with people at family stuff where you're, I don't know, some people like to knit while they do that kind of stuff. That would be a really good project to start up because, you know, you just take little scraps of yarn with you, so it's not really a lot and it's super easy. The first, I mean, really, it's all easy. Kind of the first couple is a little bit more like tedious just because you have to remember what is the front and what is the back. So I would definitely recommend keeping a locking stitch marker on what you want the front to be, just so that you keep all your squares going, you know, mitered to the same direction. So that's really the only thing, but that was a super easy one too. And I am knitting that on size US 2 needles. So I'll show you my Birkin now. This is, I guess the second time I've shown you guys this particular one. So this is the Birkin sweater by Amy Miller. Last week whenever I showed you guys, I was down here. And so I've knit, I haven't really knit that much on this really. I knit just this lace section right here. It does call for a faux seam, by the way, so I didn't just like jack it up right there. It actually tells you to make a faux seam. So I am knitting this on size 3 US needles, or US 3, however you say that. And I knit the ribbing section in that too. It did call for a 2 in the ribbing and a 4 in the body, but I just am doing a 3 all the way around. I have about 3 inches, I think, before I have to separate for, you know, like the chest part in the back, is, you know, so you can do your arms. You know how you do. So I have that much left. I love this though. I really like this pattern a lot. I think it's a really pretty pattern. It's pretty intuitive. This part's definitely intuitive. This is intuitive too, but it's like you kind of have to like look to see, you know, where you are kind of thing as first to start, but it's still intuitive after that. Pretty simple. Yeah, and then the color, I guess I could tell you that too. The yarn I'm using for this is my OG Sport Base from Train Track Fiber Designs. It's a 100% superwash merino, and then the colorway is Don't You Dare Forget. I am alternating skeins because, you know, it's a hand-dyed yarn, so that's what we do. And if you hear Bella coughing, I don't know what's going on. I think her hair's in her face. That's what happens when you have long hair. All right, and so this is my new cast on. And, oh, duh. I probably could tell you this too. This is just living in my tote. I think I got this from Knit Picks. May have been on sale for holiday time at one point. And this is also living in a Knit Picks bag. And I was really disappointed because I wanted to put it in a really super cute knitting tote. And I got to looking, and apparently I don't have any more super cute knitting totes. So I had to put it in this little bag that I got for free. So yeah, I'm definitely in the market for bags now because I didn't realize I didn't have anything. I do have my Chica bag for my socks, but I don't want to put, a sweater in a sock bag because that's just weird. We don't do that. All right. So this is the new thing I'm working on. This is So Faded by Andrea Mowry, and I'm knitting it in DK yarn. I am using the size 5 needles that it calls for in the pattern, and I am knitting the size 34, which is the size that I probably would have knit anyway, even if I made it in the other yarn. It calls for a fingering weight, but I'm using a DK weight, and I'm using my Daisy DK from my shop. And some of these are outlaw colors and some of them are not. So this first part of it, this is an outlaw color. I called it Peachy Keen. So that is outlaw color. This next part is Not the Sun. And this is what it looks like. You can find that in my shop. It's a yellow and it has some speckles and some, the light's kind of washing it out. But anyway, it's a yellowy ish tonal thing, and then it has speckles. And then I'm gonna fade to these. So I'm gonna put this down so I can pick up the rest of my fade. So I'm going to fade to these, and this is Sweet Wheat. This is in my shop. This is an outlaw colorway, and this is an outlaw colorway. So it's gonna go, I guess I could see if I can hold all of it up. That might make more sense. You can't really get the full effect because I can't make this not be curly. And yeah. It feels like you okay, this isn't gonna work for what I'm trying to show you. All right, anyways, you kind of get the point. Sorry, I didn't mean to flick everyone off. All right. So you kind of get the idea. Obviously there's going to be a lot more yellow. I've only done like two lines maybe of the yellow right there. So yeah, but you get the point. And I'm really happy with this fade. I had taken a picture of 2 fade options that I had picked out, and I'd sent it to my parents because I couldn't decide. I liked them both because, if you've faded anything ever, you're kind of like, ooh, yeah, I like both of these, or, I don't know. You're not really set in stone whenever you're doing that. I've been thinking of fading something for months too, by the way. So this wasn't my first time I looked at this. I just laid it out and I decided I was going to start it. So anyway, I had sent a picture of my 2 fade options to my parents. My dad picked the fade that I'm doing, which was the fade that I thought looked best personally. My mom picked the other fade. And then my husband picked the other fade too because I asked him to. And so I was like, well, crap, that didn't help. I thought it was going to be like hands down one way or another. And so then I posted on Instagram. And on Instagram, everyone who said anything anyway said they liked the one with the green best. I'm biased toward green. Green's my very, very favorite color, like in the whole entire world of all the colors. So, of course, I was not sure. Just because I love green, so I'm biased towards that. So that doesn't mean that that needs to be in something I make, though, just because I like it, So anyway, but I am going to do the fade that basically my dad picked and then, Instagram confirmed. So these are the other colors I'm fading with. Like I said, this is Sweet Wheat. I went on a totally long tangent about nothing, basically. This one is not named yet. I don't know if this will even be repeated again. This is an outlaw, so there's only one of them. This is an outlaw as well. This one I really could repeat, though. It's just basically green. Like just a foresty green kind of color. But I love this one. I just want to take a minute and really show you guys how awesome this is. So I love this so much. And like I just said, green's my very favorite color, so I'm like really digging this. I might try to dye figure out what I did and dye this again. I don't know. I love this. So yeah, I'm really excited about my fade, and it seems to be, it fits obviously, because it's top down. So you knit it top down. It's all one piece. So that's super awesome. And then you just fade as you go. So far with the pattern, I'm super happy with how it's written. I've only knit one other thing from Andrea Mowry, and that was the vintage prim hat. And I actually knit 2 of those. I really liked that pattern too. She writes out how to actually, do your fade or find your fade or whatever, however you want to word that. So she actually gives you written instructions on how to do that. And then, obviously the pattern is well written too, but I really like it. That's another one. Really, everything I'm knitting right now is pretty simple and straightforward. If you're a person who's looking for maybe just a pullover sweater, the So Faded by Andrea Mowry would be a really good one to do. You do not have to fade if you don't want to. You can. Either way, it's super awesome. It's just, it's a raglan shaping sweater, and then there's some details on the sleeve. I'm going to pick it up one more time and show you, because I never noticed this in the pattern, and I've had this in my queue, and I've looked at other people's. But it has, a little bit of different detail right here. So I like that. It's really pretty. And then this was the first time that I've actually knit with my Daisy DK yarn, and I'm really happy with it too. I wasn't sure. I'm not a huge single ply yarn person. I generally like something that's plied more than one ply. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that. And I will say I love it. Like I said, I wasn't sure, but I do love this. Look at the stitch definition. It's awesome. And I am using a size 5. So I would recommend with any single ply yarn, whether it's my Daisy DK or whether it's anyone else's single ply yarn in any weight at all, I would definitely recommend kind of leaning towards a smaller needle size rather than something, like you wouldn't want to knit that in an oversized needle, because what's going to actually help that ply to hold and for it not to peel is for you to have your stitches to be a little bit closer together and a little bit tighter, I guess. So this would not be a suitable yarn for a lacy project. Even if it calls for a DK yarn, you would definitely want something that is going to be more plied. So at least a 2 ply, more than that. The more plies, the more stronger those twists are going to be in the yarn. So it's going to have a better stitch definition for lace, where it's not going to get fuzzy or whatever. And that's true for every yarn. That's not just DK, that's all of them. So if you're a person who's knit for a long time, then you already probably know that. But if you're a newer knitter, then you may not. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But this has beautiful stitch definition. I'm very happy with it. I cannot wait to wear this. And like I said, I feel like the size 5 needle was absolutely perfect for this. So I don't feel like it could have worked out any better. So I'm glad I decided to do that. And I was inspired by someone on Instagram, and I don't know who it was. They probably wouldn't necessarily want me to even say who they are anyway, since I don't even know them. But anyway, so I was inspired by a person on Instagram to do, the DK weight yarn, to knit with DK weight yarn rather than the fingering weight that it called for. So yeah. All right, so I guess this isn't really a shorter episode because I've rambled for a way, way long time. All right, so I've mentioned everything that I had to mention as far as products go. Projects, I guess, not products, projects. And then also wanted to let you guys know I did find something new to listen to. So if you are into Oprah or her just general happiness, wellness, good for the soul things that she does, I found that she does a podcast, and it's called Super Soul Conversations. I haven't looked to see if there's a website. I kind of feel like there is from the way that she's talking in the thing. I kind of feel like she might have other things going on with it that I don't know about. I literally found this yesterday, but it is an audio podcast, and I found it through I guess, what is it? The podcast app on iPhone? I don't know. Anyway, found it over there. I'll link it for you guys. But it's just her interviewing people who, I don't know, are just generally awesome. So I listened to one thing. It was a yoga guy who does a lot of meditation. I listened to one. It was the lady who writes. What is the show? What's that show with Grey's Anatomy? It was the lady who actually is the writer for that. And I guess she does other things too. I'm not familiar really with her. Her name sounded familiar, but I'm not familiar with her. But anyway, she had a lot of fun, inspiring things to say. And then I listened to an episode. It was another group of people who do meditation and stuff like that. But anyway, listened to 3 episodes. I found it yesterday, so I'm really loving it. But that was cool. And then I'm also still listening to Looking for Me by Beth Hoffman. It's narrated by Jenna Lamia, and I'm a big Jenna Lamia fan. So yeah, that's what I'm listening to. And hopefully next week's episode will be a little bit more filled with maybe something else finished, maybe some stocking stuff. I don't know. I'm filming this a few days early, so I'll have a little bit more time than normal between episodes. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. And if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving and safe travels and enjoy your time with your family. I will see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.